Hi there, my name is Stephen King, CEO of TCELab. Joining me today from Seattle over Skype is my good friend Dr. Bob Hayes, our Chief Customer Officer.
Hi Stephen, hi Internet. We'd like to spend a bit of time today talking about our Customer Relationship Diagnostic, or CRD Voice of Customer Survey product.
Understanding the voice of customer is about creating fans of your brand, those that will continue to pay for your service, those that recommend you to others, and those that will increase the amount they buy from you. By listening to your customers and applying some mathematics, you can focus on what's important to create brand fans that in turn drives revenue and profitability.
The CRD applies to a broad spectrum of industries. We've done work with a number of software and hardware technology companies and have applied our customer experience management science to retailers, healthcare, manufacturing, and baking industry.
Dr. Bob's customer loyalty science applies particularly well to SaaS companies due to the high intensity nature of the recurring business model where you have to earn your clients' loyalty on a monthly basis. So here's your typical SaaS management team. You've been together for a while and have created a good SaaS business that's got some traction. You've created a SaaS pricing model with several tiers, and you continue to tinker with the features and the paywalls in the model to optimize where you think customers find the most value and to help drive up the average revenue per user, or ARPU. You've hired a great team, and they're passionate about your company's success, and they're also passionate about your good starting roster of clients who are in varying states of satisfaction with you. And certainly as your business has been growing, it's becoming harder to stay in touch with all the moving parts of what makes a customer experience good or bad. So you're making some money, and that's good, but are wondering, how do you take your business to the next level? So what do we do now? The CEO decides it's time to take the whole management team off-site for a day or two of strategic meetings. And as part of this, the CEO presents a bunch of data to the team.
C-suite executives have a gold mine of data, but don't really know how to effectively use it. Now, we know that people tend to seek out information that supports their pre-existing beliefs and ignore information that doesn't. And in business, different leaders have different beliefs about what is driving customer loyalty. Each can look at the same data and find support for their claims. For example, the VP of Service might believe they need to focus on answering support calls faster. The other senior leaders approach the same data from another perspective and see evidence that supports their claims.
Faced with all these competing priorities from the management team, the CEO has a tough time analyzing which of them have the largest ROI. Everything seems important.
At TCELab, we take a holistic, customer-centric approach to gaining insight from your business data that will drive up customer loyalty. So let your customers tell you what is important to them. The trick is to organize your business data around your customer feedback data and apply appropriate analytics to gain deep customer insight.
At TCELab, we have three main areas of business intelligence big data solutions. Think of the CRD as your annual customer survey, or if you have a really large client base, it may make sense to establish biannual or quarterly samples. One of the reasons I love SaaS companies is because the business model is very mathematical and can be easily measured. Here are the ABCs of the SaaS sales funnel. The ABC stands for always be closing, a famous quote from Alec Baldwin's character in a favorite movie of mine, Glengarry Glen Ross, required viewing for anyone responsible for making revenue. Coffee is for closers. Anyway, at the top of the funnel is the murky primordial ooze of brand awareness, where marketers try to get prospects to first hear about your product using old school marketing techniques like trade shows and magazine ads. Outbound, like pay-per-click AdWords banners and press releases. And then there's inbound marketing, SEO, and with social media and content publishing, using word of mouth, Facebook likes, and so on to help people recommend your products to other people. So hopefully they emerge out of this ooze to visit your website and become part of the traffic measurement in Google Analytics. Once on your website, the trick is to convert them to customers through various sales conversion techniques. You need to engage them. You can also measure how many people have started their trials, are actively engaged in their trial, and finally, how many have converted to be paying customers. So you can measure all of this stuff, and it's vital information to have because it helps you understand if you're improving and going in the right direction. But these conversion percentages are like looking in a rearview mirror. The tougher part is to peer into the crystal ball, to look out the front window and to know what to focus on to drive the biggest impact for business. Dr. Bob, can you elaborate on how we approach this?
Sure, Stephen. In business, there are three ways you make money. The first way is to make money by keeping your customers. In SaaS companies, this is known as a subscription, and typically this subscription is collected on a recurring monthly basis. The second way to make money is to get new customers. Hopefully your existing customers are so excited about your product that they tell other people about it. This word of mouth creates viral growth for your company. And the third way is to increase the amount of money you make from each customer, or ARPU. With SaaS companies, that's when a customer upgrades from one pricing tier to the next. But it can also be about selling additional products and services. And we developed the rapid loyalty approach to help companies understand these three different types of customer loyalty. First, to understand key drivers behind churn, we measure retention loyalty. Second, customers can show their advocacy toward your company through recommending your company and brand to their friends and colleagues. We measure that behavior with advocacy loyalty. And finally, customers can deepen their relationship with you by upgrading to the next SaaS tier and increase ARPU, and we measure that behavior with purchasing loyalty. And we know that customer loyalty is impacted by all business areas of your company, from product and support to sales and marketing. Each business area has an impact on the overall customer experience and ultimately customer loyalty. The CRD not only helps you identify where you need to make improvements to increase customer loyalty, but helps you identify exactly what you need to do to make those improvements occur. The CRD contains four major elements to help you understand and manage the health of the customer relationship. Using the rapid loyalty approach, the CRD provides reliable and valid metrics about all three types of customer loyalty. Additionally, analysis of the open-ended comments breathes life into those metrics and helps identify what things you need to do to make customers happy. The key driver chart helps you prioritize what's important to the customers. And finally, we developed an approach, the CPERC, which stands for Customers' Perception of Percentile Rank, to help you understand where you sit in the competitive landscape and show you exactly what you need to do to improve your industry ranking. The key driver chart is really the meat of the CRD report, and it combines two pieces of information about each business area. The performance of that area, that's the lower axis. You can be either performing poorly or well, low to high. And the other aspect of your business area is the impact it has on customer loyalty. It can either have a high impact on loyalty, which means it's important, or have a low impact on loyalty, which means it's not important. So we can divide or make a table, a quadrant table, by dividing low, high for each of those metrics, and we can then allocate the business areas into one of those four quadrants. So the business areas that fall in the upper left quadrant are called key drivers, and these business areas we know we're doing poorly in, and these business areas are very important to our customers. So we want to focus on these areas first if we want to have an impact on customer loyalty. Business areas that fall in the upper right quadrant are called hidden drivers, and these business areas are areas which we're doing very well and are very important to our customers. So we may want to use these kinds of attributes or business areas in our marketing and sales pitches. Business areas that fall into the lower right quadrant are called visible drivers. This is where we're performing well, but the areas we're performing well on aren't really that important to the customer. And finally, the weak drivers are the business areas where we're not doing very well, but it's not really a big deal because those areas aren't really that important to the customer anyway relative to the other business areas.
Right. Thanks, Bob. So let's have a look at some sample data from one of our studies. This graph is showing the key driver results for retention loyalty. The data indicates that customers are looking for better reports, more information on product roadmaps, and better response on community support forums, which really lets the management team focus their energy on the things that they find there.
Now, because we use the rapid loyalty approach, we'll have two additional driver charts, one for advocacy loyalty and one for purchasing loyalty. In this report, and this is typical in most reports we see, we saw that the three different types of loyalty have different key drivers. So using this approach, you can make decisions based on which part of the SaaS sales funnel you see the biggest opportunity.
We can also do different analysis depending on other demographics and behaviors, so paid versus trial, active, non-active, or dormant users. We can also slice and dice across the devices, so depending on whether it's a browser access or mobile or iPad or whatever. Again, the point is to focus on the areas of business that customers tell us will have the biggest impact. A CRD takes about 3 months. We have done them as quickly as 6 weeks, but 3 months gets us comfortably through the process. There are 6 steps. So the first is to align ourselves. Educate your team a bit more on our approach as we apply the science from Dr. Bob's books and research. And we'll learn what your goals are and assess where you are in the customer experience management journey.
Next, we'll review your existing databases to identify metrics we can use as input for our analysis after the survey responses are collected. For example, we might find existing information about each customer in your CRM database to help us segment the survey data after it's collected. We then take our default question set and start adapting it to suit your goals. We divide the survey basically into 4 sections. First, we have questions about customer loyalty, and that's the rapid loyalty approach. Next, we have questions about the customer experience to allow your customers to rate their satisfaction with various touch points like product, support, and sales. And these are the business areas we spoke of before. Next, we have a couple of questions to assess your competitive ranking and the reasons behind it. Finally, the last section is specific to you. Some companies have information needs unique to them or want to test specific hypotheses. These questions can include demographic questions, marketing benefit questions, future product features, as well as verbatim questions.
Once the questions are finalized, it's time to contact your clients. We have our own technology platform that we can run the surveys, do the email invites and reminders, and collect, aggregate, and analyze the data. If you have your own survey solution, we're also happy to use that to collect the data.
And once we have the data, we go to work on your analysis. Our platform will sift through your data to identify the top correlates of customer loyalty. Also, we'll apply advanced analytics like multiple regression and factor analysis to provide richer insight into the customer experience.
So finally, the last phase is ensuring the findings are communicated back into your organization. We provide a full report, the open ed comments organized by satisfaction, as well as all the raw survey data that we've collected. We'll meet with the executive team first to review those results and discuss the applicability to your strategic direction, and then we take it out to the broader management team. We can also facilitate training kits and training rollout into your organization. Well, that pretty well wraps it up. Hope this video has been helpful and or inspiring. If you want to get started, just send an email to Bob or I. And thanks very much for listening. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, guys.